Hello, I am Caroline Colleen, Mama Champion, and I love empowering busy mamas going from burnout to bliss. Listen, we are no longer overwhelmed, we are overcomers, growing, glowing, and going towards the women we are meant to be. As a certified life coach, I love creating sacred, safe spaces for mamas to be seen and heard. Every year, I do this powerful exercise, and I find that mamas like myself, like you, struggle with overpromising, over-delivering, and over-serving. When we really want to slow down enough to rest, catch up, and move with more intention and enjoy quality time with the ones we love the most. So, how can we make plans for a new year without taking advantage of the wins, the wisdom, the tears, the fears from the year before? Well, let me show you how I've done it the last couple of years. And I want to walk you through this exercise that has truly given me so much more purpose in my life. And I don't want you to do it by yourself. I'm going to take you step by step. So when you open up the digital worksheet, it's going to welcome you with an overview of kind of what I just said. There's a lovely table of contents that walks you through each page and how you're going to walk through this exercise. So down at the bottom of the screen, if I kind of click and hover, I can navigate from page to page. This first page is going to be the legal stuff. This is our copyright notice and disclaimer. I worked really hard to create this wonderful document and just want to make sure that you don't use it without my permission. And that really takes us to the first page. The first step is going to be you figuring out where to get started. So let's check out my Instagram for more details. And I want you to tell me how this worked out for you. Please share your experience. On page 2, this is where you're going to begin your reflection on 2023. So there are going to be some questions for you to answer in the space provided with some prompts. Now, I usually write in my journal, or you can also print this out and work on it on these pages. On the third page, you're going to get some reflection questions to think about where you are right now. And then you'll get to the section that has you take a look at where you think you want to be for 2024. And we're going to come up with one and only one word of intention for the year. Not two words, not three words, not a sentence, but one word. It's going to be tempting to come up with more than one word, but I want to encourage you to set your focus on one and only one word of intention for 2024. Then, step 4, on the last couple of pages, after a couple of notes, pages that are available, I can't really take credit for originating this idea. It's just something I was exposed to that really made a difference in my life. So I've got some resources and references for you to take a look at. All right, that's kind of a lot to take in, but I'm still right here with you. So let's go ahead to the next page. All right, so here's where we're going to start that 2023 reflection. So, the first thing you can do is think about any meaningful images, experiences, words, or thoughts from last year, and you can put them in this box or in your journal, right? So, one of the things I'll usually do is kind of scroll through my phone. I might look through my calendar for those of you that like to have a planner, whether it's a hard copy or digital, and just think about some of the things that you did this year. Maybe you had travel plans, or maybe your children had some significant milestones. Maybe you have a senior in high school or a third grader that did something new and exciting this year, right? So that's where you can just think about those things that remind you of some of your highs and some of your lows from the last year. And then I want you to think about, what have you learned? What have you lost? What have you gained? What have you loved? And did it love you back? What made you feel alive? Was it healthy? What were your priorities? Were they profitable? So, once again, write those thoughts down in your journal. Really sit and take some time to reflect on what these experiences really meant to you. I truly love these questions. Um, they really give you an opportunity to reflect in a way I hadn't done before prior to starting to do this exercise. All right, so that's our first step, reflecting on the previous year. I'm going to come back down here and navigate to the next page. Now, on this page, in this first section, you're going to think about where you are now, right? You just had a moment to think about everything that happened last year. But where are you in this moment? Who are you? What will you do every day to live out who you are, right? Because over the last year, there were some experiences that had some type of impact on your life. So, how has that impacted who you are and what you want more of in your life each day, or what you want less of in your life? And I've also done this with groups, like on Zoom calls or even in person. I will usually pose the questions and set a timer. Timers work really well for me. I have a really busy brain. And so, when you hear these questions, they're not your typical simple yes no questions. You might need to give yourself some time to really think about, hmm, who am I now? What are my new truths? So feel free to set a timer and give yourself a moment to be still and kind of let go of a lot of distractions when you get started with this exercise. All right, after you spend some time thinking about who you are now we're ready to move in to the section where you think of your word of the year for 2024. Here are some great questions that are going to help guide you to what that word of intention might be. So now you want to think about, what type of person do you want to become? What are this person's characteristics? What are your grandest hopes and dreams for yourself? What are words that might be a stretch for you? Not burdensome, but something really vulnerable or to take you out of your comfort zone. You can also write a one-page letter to yourself as if you are where you want to be at the end of this year. Underline the words that get you excited. Which word best captures the essence of the letter? So, once again, these are some great questions to kind of help guide you through, what is that one word for me, right? And sometimes you'll come up with two or three words that you can't decide between. So, this is when I like to really, like I say, get still, kind of get rid of all the distractions and think about and even ask God, like, what do you have for me this year? What are the things that I grew in and that stretched me or that made me uncomfortable last year that I know I still need to spend some time with? Or what did I waste my time doing that I need to make sure I don't do more of? All right. Now I have a couple of pages where you could take some extra notes, your 2023 notes, who you are now, 2024. This next page, just another chance to take more notes if you wanted to use this actual document. to kind of work through the exercises. And then there's a blank page here where you might want to add any images or experiences you hope to have in 2024, any words or thoughts. So maybe you want to do a vision board. I see now some people are doing prayer boards instead of vision boards. For those of you that are creative and like to draw, I'm a big doodler. You may want to freehand. Um, some inspiring visuals to just kind of give you some inspiration for what your word of the year might be. And now I want to know how I can support you. This is a pretty involved exercise. Like I say, it really does take some time. And it really, maybe the first time you do it, you really struggle with coming up with just one word, or you're wondering, oh my goodness, is this one word? What's that going to mean to me, halfway through the year? Like, don't stress yourself out. Um, Whatever word you come up with, if you feel so inclined, you could change it 3 months in, 6 months in. Like, don't put so much pressure on yourself that you got to choose this perfect word, but settle on something and just see where it takes you. So, I want to know how I can support you. I really think this is a powerful gift to yourself to really help you discover some new and interesting things in the new year. So let me know. Send me a DM on IG, Facebook, TikTok. You can even click this link to schedule a 30-minute call with me just so you can tell me how your experience was. Maybe you want to do it with your whoever you're dating, or with your spouse, or with your kids. And then, hey, share your experience online. I got some of my socials on here. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. Let me know what you think. And then, like I said, I cannot take full credit for coming up with this. There is this amazing podcast that I listen to with Susan C. This was something that I found listening to her podcast. She's an amazing homeschooling mom. And I have the podcast episode where she talks about her word of the year process. And then all some of the questions that I came up with, I got from a sermon that I heard. And I've got a link to that sermon here if you want to check it out. It was really inspiring and powerful to me. And then there's actually a book. It's called My One Word. This is where Susan C got the idea from. And he just talks about, once again, how choosing one word of intention for the year really made a difference in his life. And then here's some things that you can do next to really seal your word of the year. I usually will align my word with a scripture. Um, And let's see, you can create a vision board. You can doodle your word all the time, keep it kind of at the forefront of your mind. You can meditate on it, and you can speak it out loud. Um, and I also have a New Year visioning experience. It's like this visualization exercise that really can take this concept of kind of exploring a new year and a new you. And it's a kind of a different concept that's available. So you can click that link if you're interested in finding out more about that. And that is the 2023 reflection, 2024 word of the year exercise, as I've done it for the last couple of years. My word of the year last year was receive. And if you check out my Instagram, I will share with you what receive taught me. I am Caroline Colleen on Instagram, and I really am looking forward to hearing how you enjoyed this exercise and this experience. Thank you so much for taking the time to walk with me through this exercise, and have an amazing evening, morning, afternoon. Bye bye.